Hello, I'm Andrew of Machine Art Moto, and I'm going to show you how to install the new Avant engine guard for the new R1200R and RS liquid cooled models. We developed the Avant because the front fenders of the R and RS are designed very short and very flexible. Therefore, because of the flexibility, it doesn't provide a suitable anchor for fender extension like the Avants we made for other models. The Avant mounts over the engine to the underside of the frame and to two mounting points above it, and serves to protect these painted surfaces and the chrome of the header from abrasion over time from stones and mud and other debris kicked up by the front tire. Now we're going to show you how to install the Avant. The parts consist of the Avant, an aluminum bracket, two grommets that install into the bracket, and two M5 bolts that connect the bracket to the underside of the Avant. Then these two M8 bolts and washers are used to install the assembly to the underside of the motorcycle. First thing to do is to take the bracket, install the rubber grommet, this one is pre-installed, into the hole. It's flexible. Pushes through the aluminum so it now appears on either side. Next, take the bracket, oriented as you see it now, with the bottom two holes overlapping the boss on the part, and installing two of these M5 screws finger tighted first. Then take a T25 Torx driver and secure it fully. Tightly so it doesn't rattle. And then we'll go on to the next step. With it installed, you can see its correct orientation. Now we're ready to install it on the motorcycle. First, loosen these two screws holding together a sandwich of three components. This radiator shield, the radiator behind it, and also the fan. Take a T25 Torx driver and back it out 4 or 5 turns or so, but do not remove it. Just loosen it enough so that the assembly behind here comes apart, and we will insert the two forked mounting tabs on the Avant underneath the screws that we've just loosened. Once we do that, we'll tighten the screws, and then on the underside, the last step will be to insert the bolt through these grommets and into two bosses in the bottom of the engine. So let's insert these tabs and take it one step at a time. Now we're ready to position the Avant, these two mounting forks, in the proper position under the fastener. We've loosened these two screws, backing them out about 4 or 5 turns, and by pushing on this, because now there's some slack in there, we're revealing the slot into which the fork engages, and we'll do the same on the other side. So now you can see that it's in place. I suggest that you not fully tighten, but cinch these up a little bit, because we're going to be doing a little bit of adjustment afterwards. And this is simply to hold it in place. We're going to go back and tighten these fully after the underside bolts are inserted. So let's move to the underside of the bike. Now we're looking underneath the bike, and we've got our bracket roughly in the right place. You can see that there are two bosses here that we're going to engage with the bolts through the holes in the bracket. So we're going to swing this assembly into place over that boss and insert the M8 bolt through the grommet and just begin to position it into place. It goes in rather easily. We'll put in the other side as well. Now these are spun down by hand. We'll take a socket wrench, a 13mm socket, and begin to tighten these bolts. Do one at a time so they're about the same tension either side. Because we're screwing into a rubber grommet, the grommets are compressing, so it'll take a number of turns. Okay. Never over tighten, just right. That completes the underside. Now that the bottom bracket is attached, we're going to go back to these two front screws initially loosened up, and we're going to tighten them nice and firmly with our T25 Torx driver. That's all it took. That concludes the installation of the Avant guard. As with any new product installation, after your first ride, give each of these 4 fasteners and we put in another check for tightness, and then you'll be fine. I also want to point out the Mamo light bars that are installed here. These are our design and available through our website, that are made in individual left and right sections to enable mounting the benefits of LED driving lights along with the benefits of the engine protection of the Avant guard. They're very simple to put on. They install exactly the same way that BMW's does. So have a look at our site. Safe riding.